For starters, we're going to show a couple of wrist locks and then kind of proceed into like what happens if the wrist locks fail and Jacob stands up, and then we can transfer into a spider and work from there. But our first two options, starting from guard, for the very first wrist lock, this is a great one to do when the opponent grabs your wrist. And so when he grabs my wrist, rather than trying to strip and trying to fight out of it, what I'm going to do is use that to my advantage. And so the key for a good wrist lock is that I have to brace behind his elbow. So as I fold the wrist back, he can't just pull his arm away. So I'm going to use my legs and I'm going to pull Jacob in. So right away when he grabs, I'm going to grab and I'm going to cup his wrist and I'm going to bring this in nice and tight. So now Jacob can't pull his arm back. And so I can roll this up, start grabbing my own wrist, and look how his wrist is bent. So it's braced up against my thigh because I'm pulling in. I'm creating this trap where he can't draw his elbow back. And so I grab and I just flex in until he taps. And so it's a simple, quick one. Wrist locks, typically they come on fast. So when you actually do it, just be careful on your partner, apply slowly. But when you get them, usually they're not super complicated. It's just a matter of, getting in and grabbing. So he grabs that. And so right away, I'm going to cup over and I want to kind of fold his wrist down, and at the same time I'm pulling in to make this trap, because if I start applying the wrist lock here, he's just going to withdraw his elbow. And so he reaches right away. Now I've got that trap, and so I can start rolling that in as I pull him in towards me. All right, so that's our first wrist lock. The second wrist lock we're going to do, he doesn't grab my wrist, but I'm going to grab and I'm going to just kind of pull across a little bit here. I'm going to thread under, go elbow to elbow, and just control over here. And again, also pulling in here because I want to trap his elbow. Here, Jacob can slide out. But when I grab in and I pull, now his elbow is trapped here. And so I'm going to grab with my bicep, his fingers, and then just squeeze in. So again, I trap the elbow, make sure he can't withdraw it as I execute the wrist lock, and then I find a way to start folding that hand back. So that one again, if he's kind of like reaching down and in, something like that, this is great. So I come in, elbow to elbow, and I trap, bring him in, to trap the elbow, and then I just flex and pull in. So the first one again, we're in here, he grabs. So I'm going to fold and trap. So again, on top, and I kind of fold it down here. See how his wrist is bending? And I bring in and I trap his elbow with my thigh. And I'm going to just kind of grab here and just roll into that. Second one, either I pull across a little bit or he starts reaching in and grabbing where his arm is down, in, hook and grab. Now see how his wrist is bending here? So I trap in, so I make sure Jacob can't withdraw that elbow. Come in here, see how his hand is flexing back. So I grab and squeeze. All right?